The cooperation between Brazil and Germany has solid foundations. Historically, Brazil and Germany have had, for a long time, a bound of contribution in several areas. Recently, after Germany's greater opening to the immigration of qualified personnel, we see new opportunities to foreigners into the German labor market. We are here to present to the public the challenges and perspectives of training and professional placement of Brazilians in German companies in the IT areas, mechatronic and engineering. Consequently, the purpose of this webinar is to talk about the opportunity Brazilian professionals will find in the global market when pursuing the German dual system of vocational education and training. The vocational education and training system is a dual training approach based on the apprenticeship model, combining theoretical knowledge acquired at school and practical workplace training in a company. Today, we will present the views of our speakers on the subject. So I would like to thank Professor Karin Graf from Paraná Federal University, Professor Bertrand Lohmüller from Steinbeis University, Professor Daniel Weingärtner, team leader at eSolutions in Germany. And well, now I may pass the word to Professor Karin as Mr. João Vitor Stedley, Executive Director at PTI, could not join us today. So Professor Karin Graf, you have the word. I thank you very much, you all, for being here.
Thank you, Geraldine. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thanks for this invitation. And my name is Karin Graf. I am a mechanical engineer. I am a professor of Federal University of Paraná State, and my area is material science. I will try to talk in this 10 minutes about our projects with Germany. Could you please share my presentation, Geraldine?
Sure.
You can put the next slide, please. Our cooperation started almost 10 years ago, and it started with a project called Project Aware. It means Applied Network on Automotive Research and Education. We receive the personnel from THI, Technische Hochschule Ingolstadt, in our university, and they try to establish a network between these universities. The partnership is between THI, UFPR, and Santa Catarina too. These three universities formed the first AWARE project that was supposed to last 4 years. The next one, please. Ingolstadt chose here UFPR and Santa Catarina because due to our excellent engineering course and the interest of automotive applications. We are the third region in Brazil developed in automotive area. Here we have a lot of industries related to automotive industry. And the goal of THI was to approach a university focusing on applied sciences. There are a lot of talk between the rectors, and in 2013 we started the first phase of AWARE. It was supposed to last 4 years, and after this first phase that was successful, we had the second phase of AWARE that lasts more 4 years. AWARE started as a project, and nowadays it's not a project anymore. It is a center of education and research. The next one, please. The main goal of this big project, AWARE, was to establish a network between Brazilian and German researchers and try to find out topics that we could work together. Our mission, actually, we had three main missions. That was transfer and exchange of innovative technologies, research, and transfer of know-how. This was the basis of the project. And we had a lot of strategies. We sent a lot of students to Germany. Professors went to Germany. We received professors here in Brazil, so we could establish this network. Next one, please. Here we have the board from AWARE. In Germany, the scientific director is Professor Harald Gollinger. And we have Professor Andreas Hagerer, that he is the coordinator of automotive engineering master course in Germany. Anne-Sophie and Lisa are the Anne-Sophie and Lisa are the directors, the operative person that makes all the projects run. Professor Alessandro Zimmer, that was a professor for electrical engineering. He stayed 4 years in Germany, and nowadays he is no longer a professor of UFPR. He asked to leave, and now he is living in Germany and working in THI. Myself and Professor Evaldo Mel from Electrical Engineering, we are the coordinators of AWARE here from UFPR side. For the double degree, I will talk a little bit about this double degree. We have Professor Maria José Ponte and Professor Evelio. And from Santa Catarina, we have Professors Mauricio and Lucas that work with all these projects that we have. Next one, please. On teaching, we had a lot of events here in Brazil and in Germany, like the summer schools that were 2 weeks of classes, full weeks, 1 year here and 1 year in Germany. And when the summer school was in Germany, we used to send some students to participate there. And when summer schools were here in Brazil, we received some professors to teach at this summer schools. Here in Brazil was spring schools. And we also received some students. During all these 8 years, we did the summer schools. We did 8 summer schools during all this time. We received guest lecturers from Germany. We sent some professors to Germany too. And here I think the biggest outcome from AWARE was the double degree program. We established with Germany the double degree between mechanical engineering and automotive engineering in Germany, and also between electrical engineering and automotive engineering in Germany. We have some calls from Fundação Araucária that make it possible to send students to Germany, to the students that choose for this double degree. And during AWARE, we were also prospecting new projects, and AIM, it's another project that we are developing with them, and it was born inside AWARE. Next one, please. About research, we established 6 research groups. One is in my area, material science, but we have another 5 groups of professors that are working together already almost 7-8 years together. We already published some papers together. I received 2 years ago a student from Germany. We send our students to Germany. master students and doctorate students. One of our master students stayed in Germany. Another master student also stayed there. We have a lot of opportunities when our students are working in Germany. And the last one, next slide, please, is the know-how transfer. We published, next slide, please. It's not changing here for me, the slide. Okay, we had two publications with Germany, one in 2016 and the other one in 2019. And now Aware as a center, it has its own website with all information that we need there. Next slide, please. Here we have the page from Aware Center. Here is in Germany, but here on the top of the site you can choose if you want to continue in German or in English. And here we have the other two projects that are running nowadays here in UFPR. The AIM project and the Englobe project. AIM means Automotive Innovation Momentum, and Englobe, Engineers Go Global. It's funny, THI loves these acronyms, a word that means another thing, and all our projects has these acronyms. Next one, please. Project Aware, I am the coordinator. Next one, please. And the main goal of this project is teaching, to exchange teaching techniques, and also to German professors to bring to Brazil some topics related to automotive industry. We had this project 4 years, and now we are submitting AIM 2. But this is more focused on teaching. But inside this project, we also can send students to Germany and receive students too. And the next project, next slide, please, is project, forgot. AIM also performs some lectures every month. Last year, every month, we invite some professors, all of them related to mobility or automotive industry, to present some interesting topics. Next one, and now the last project, that is project Englobe. This is more focused on bachelor students, and we work here together with the industry. This was also a big goal of THI to try to help us to work closely to industry. And we developed a very good relationship with Renault. And in this project, we had 8 students from UFPR, 3 students from Germany working together in 2 different topics inside Renault do Brasil. This project, the first project already finished. The Englobe project means to stand 4 years. We already finished the first year. We still have more 3, and we're already working on the second topic with Renault and THI. Here we sent these 8 students to Germany at the end of last year. They stayed there 1 week. All this financial support was made by DAD from Germany. And in all these projects, we always have the chance or the opportunity to send our students to Germany. Next one, please. I think in few words is this, of course, in 10 minutes, it is not possible to talk about all the projects in details. But the thing I want to show you is, yes, we have a lot of projects going on with Germany, and we have ways to send our students there to Germany and to receive students here. Some of difficulties that we have in our projects is to find some profiles to feed some spots or some places that THI wants. For example, they have a very big partnership with Airbus, and they offer us some interchange, but we didn't find here in UFPR the profile of the students that we could send. This was very sad. We had the opportunity, we had the financial support, but we didn't have the student here to send. But the opportunities are there. We have a lot. I think the most important thing is the students really want to go. If the students want to go to Germany, to work there, to have an internship, we have several ways to do this. I think in few words it's that. I'm sorry, I last a little bit more than the 9 minutes that was given to me, but I think that's what I want to show you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Karen Graf. It is time to call Professor Bertrand Lohmüller to give his view on the role of Steinbeis University and its experience of inserting professionals in the global market. Professor, please, you have the word.
Yes, thank you very much. Also, really good to hear from my colleague Karen Graf that there are so good relations between Brazil and also Germany. And also, I have also a lot of experience in Brazil, visited 2 times, and we also hosted in our institute university several groups from Brazil in the last years. From the perspective we are coming from, I would say Steinbeis University is not the classical university you know. This is important to explain because this is my experience all over the world. When I'm coming to discuss what is Steinbeis University, always thinking is traditional education and training. It's like a bit different. It's really work integrated learning and project integrated learning. That means the study program is directly integrated into a company project, and the company project is running parallel to the study program. And this is on bachelor's level and also on master's level, the same methodology, I would say. How does it work in Germany? Maybe you know it. There is dual education on different levels. Steinbeis University is doing the dual education on a very high level because the students are then directly getting a working contract in the company. Then together with a supervisor from the company and also a supervisor professor from Steinbeis, it is discussed what kind of project could be conducted over the whole study time. That means for bachelor over 3 years and in master programs over 2 years. And over this time, the students were coached in order to run the study and the project, and also the company is also directly involved because at the end there is also no classical examination, I would say. In a traditional way, there will be, for example, in project management, seminars over a weekend. There is the theoretical knowledge you will get. And then in the next following 6 weeks, the student has the task how this theoretical knowledge could be implemented into the company, into the project they are working. For example, maybe they are working in an international project, are working together with colleagues from Brazil, from Japan, and also from Africa. And the point is how to bring together the different culture, how to manage the time gaps. At the end, the student has to write a so-called transfer paper, where first for the project management, the theoretical knowledge and theory is listed. And at the end, there must be clear recommendation how this project could be supported by the outcome of the input of the student. That means there is always a direct relation of studying to the real project. And important is the student is employed. There will be a monthly salary. And also with this employment, there will be the agreement with Steinbeis University, how the study is running. Also, it is paid the lessons where they have to travel, for example. It means it's 100% project integrated program. We always say, on the other hand, earn by learn. That means this is one point we say, but it's also very important for companies because they really get real results out of these programs. Therefore, the clients of Steinbeis University are mid-sized companies, are big companies like SAP, like Magna Steyr. In Brazil, we have actually the demand from Mercedes-AMG. They're looking for experts, especially in IT. And therefore, we came to the idea to start this pre-master's program. And why this pre-master's program? Because I have learned in my long experience with Steinbeis programs all over the world, it's very difficult really to bring this project methodology and transfer concept into the countries. And the students need a preparation because at the end, they have to self-manage their activities and self-manage all the project within the company. And there is another point. In Germany, there is a really big shortage in MINT areas. What does it mean, MINT? This is students for mathematics, informatics, natural science, and technique, all the engineers. And therefore, we see a really big demand also from German companies in working places in Germany, but also working places, for example, for Mercedes-AMG in Brazil or in other European countries. That means what I really want to explain is the philosophy of Steinbeis University is really practice-oriented, and it's quite different from the traditional way of learning. Therefore, we have, together with Digitale now, started this pre-master's program to prepare the student to be fit for these activities. And at the end, then I will hand over to my colleague Anna Mushkina. At the end, Steinbeis is the biggest private university based on this concept because the companies get a benefit out of it, and all the students who are working in the company, they can, I think 90% plus are continuing their work then in a working place and starting their career in these companies. Then, Anna Mushkina, please, maybe you can explain a little bit about the procedure, how we are running these preparation course here in Brazil.
Exactly. Thank you, Professor Lomele. But first of all, good afternoon, dear participants of today's event. I'm really delighted to welcome you and thank you for your time. I am Anna Mazurkina, trainer at the Steinbeis University, and I will just show you what do you get in our pre-master program and what are you going through before you start working in a German company. Let me share my screen. Yeah. There is one general condition to join our pre-master program. If you are started or study now any bachelor field in engineering or computer science, and you would love to get a master degree like Master of Business Engineering or Master of Science in Industrial Engineering or Master of Science in Business Informatics, you can apply. The GPA has to be good, no less than 2.7 in the German grading system. It is equal to the grade 7 or 75 in your grading system. Ms. Tonali, please correct me if I'm mistaken. Yeah, all the typical application documents like CV or high school diploma and so on have to be well prepared and submitted to Digital. And if this screening is successful, you will upload the documents to us, and you can be invited to the interview with the Steinbeis experts. After this step, you can already start with your German language course and your pre-master course. You know that in the first pre-master semester, Steinbeis University offers 2 courses. They are intercultural management and international management. And the most important thing that we conduct them in English parallel to the German language course, so you can totally concentrate on improving your language skills. And finally, to get an offer from a company and start a project-oriented study, you will participate in several online company interviews during this pre-master. And the staff of the Steinbeis University will arrange the company interviews for the students. I must admit that the great advantage of our pre-master program is that if all these steps are done, you can start the job in a German company, and this company will pay your study fees at the Steinbeis University. Also, traveling and accommodation costs will be paid by the project company, and you also, when you're working, you will get a monthly salary. That's obvious. That was the key steps, the key structure. And Professor Lohmüller has already mentioned some companies which are really looking for skilled and talented IT experts. You see them also on the screen. It's of course the first company with this unit in Brazil is Mercedes EU, that shapes digital future of the world famous Mercedes-Benz. And it develops services such as websites, apps, vehicles overviews, and their car configurators, and so on. And they really need young IT experts as you. You can also certainly aware of activities of Siemens, also really well-known German company with a long history. Magna Steyr has Professor Lohmüller already mentioned, and I can also say that the company Dativ is a technical information service provider for tax, attorneys, and accountants. They are really looking for the skilled IT experts. And I guess that you have also already heard about SAP company or Salesforce company, which develops they are cloud-based customer relationship management solution. And finally, I want to say that we are really sure that students from Brazil have a really big chances on the German market and to get a job offer from these companies and start their project-oriented master studies in Germany.
Thank you very much, Professor Lohmüller. Ms. Mozukina, thank you very much for your kind words too. Well, at last but not least, I would like to invite Mr. Daniel Weingärtner to give his views on his professional experience.
So good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Is it all working? Yes? No?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect, perfect, very nice. So I'd like to thank for the invitation. I'm glad to be here today and talk a little bit about my experience, which I was asked to do. I'm still officially a professor at the Federal University of Paraná in Brazil, but I am on leave of absence for some time now, and I've been working in Germany. So I decided to move to Germany to work in a company. It is a company which I knew from before. I had some students working there as well in similar fashion as what you're proposing to do. They were studying here and working to get their salary and sustain themselves somehow. And so this is a very interesting perspective, which I think some of you might be interesting to do here, is to work while you can study. It's something very useful, let's say like that. It's practical. What I can talk a little bit more about is about computer science students. I have been working on the field for quite a while, and as you might know, Germany is in a big need of computer scientists. Not only Germany, that's everywhere. So it's a good thing to know how to handle with the computer, and if you know that, you have good chances of getting a good job. So Brazilians in general with a computer science bachelor or informatics, ciência da computação, informática, bacharelado em sistema de informação, those are the courses to usually get there. Usually you have a good preparation for kind of tasks you need here. So it's normally not a big problem, skill problem. You also don't need to have a special authorization, like if you want to be an engineer here, you need an authorization to work on that. If you want to be a doctor, an arts, a medical doctor, you need authorization. It's not a fact. Computer science, you can start working here. You don't need a special. The thing is, they really want you to have to know the thing, know what to do. So from this, I would say Brazilian students that have a above average degree, they are well prepared to enter the German market from the perspective of computer science. But that's not all of it. So if you want to change a country and coming to Germany, there is this cultural aspect you should be getting ready and prepare yourself. So the first thing is about language. English is a must. So if you cannot converse in English, it will be very difficult to have a job here. Huh? But I must say, my experience is that if you want to really also progress, and most companies in Germany, you would need to invest and know German. So it's not that you cannot work in English. I work now in a software company that makes software for the car industry, and my experience is as soon as it's possible, everyone is talking German. Yeah, so if you don't speak German and you don't understand German, you get out of most of the small talk. You get out of lots of things that you don't get because you just miss it. And so I would really like the biggest challenge I have noticed from my students that were here, and the difference between success and failure also on a personal level was if you really dived into the language, because it's not that easy to learn a foreign language. So you dive into the language and you know it, that's something you should do. And then you can, of course, computer science is mostly done in English anyways. So if you just want to work, it's fine, it's okay, it's very good with English. Most companies don't have a problem with that. But I would really recommend you get to know the language, and when you go the language, you know the culture, and then you can really get into the society. So it's something I would recommend to everyone that is intending to come to Germany. Some companies also pay you and help you pay German courses for you, or you can prepare this way in Brazil. I've been working in Germany. I worked here before I went to the masters in Brazil, and then I decided to go back to Brazil, and now I decided to come back to Germany. So I have been moving between those two countries for quite a while. I enjoy very much working here because it's so. Perhaps I'm lucky and getting on nice companies, but I always had my vacations, and they were real vacations. So when I'm off work, off duty, and there is nothing on my contract that says that I should be on duty on that time, and I'm really off, and I can get off the grid and no one will call me, and I don't have to take work with me home, and that's very fine. So it's something that is not expected for me to do. It's something that when I'm on my job, I'm expected to give everything and not stop working while I'm there. So very concentrated work is possible here. It's really good. I like it. Everyone, I work in an office with 4 people. We don't chat much. It's really concentrated work, but everyone just goes out sometime and then we chat on the corridor or drink a coffee together. And when I'm on vacation, I'm really off. That's an experience I didn't really, it doesn't feel, the company doesn't make you feel guilty that you are taking a vacation. You see, it's your right, you go out, you take vacation and you come back. And it's a little bit different of the experiences I had in Brazil, where getting vacation is sometimes seen as giving you a favor. Yeah? So that's something very good. I liked it very much. You usually get very good opportunities to work yourself forward. You can get courses paid by the companies because you want to stay state of the art in some part of your work, what you're doing, and usually they offer you. Those last 2 years it has been mostly online, which is reality for everyone, but still before that they offered also presential courses at the company that you can enhance yourself. So I really like as a working experience, yeah, I must say it's a good working environment. I don't mean it to say that there are no bad companies or bad bosses. Of course, you can get it wrong everywhere. Yeah? That is not up. You are not immune to it. But still, my experience has always been very good. I have always have very good relations with my colleagues and bosses. And I like it also, people are very straightforward. So that's something perhaps Brazilians should take a little bit care. If you mean something, if you want to say something, you better say it out. Yeah, it will get straight. If it's not good, it will also be said very straightly to you. It's not good because of this and this and that. And there are no personal real feelings about that. It's just your code that is bad, or your code doesn't do it the best way it could, or whatever. So we are not very used to that in Brazil, because we used to give a little bit of a round before we talk something critical. Germans are more direct. I like it. I like to work that way, but still it's something that not everyone is used to. So if you are a code writer and you are used to peer reviewing your code, that's usually how we work here. So you write your code, you submit a pull request, and then you expect your colleagues or your peers to review it. So don't expect the review to be very kind. If you know Linus Torvalds from the Linux kernel, so it's not that tough as he does it. If you don't know him, forget about it. But you will get your critic very straightforward, very ahead, and that's it. That's the point. You should do this different. This is not well done. This should be redone, and that's it. Yeah. So there is no real. It's very professional, I would say, but not going around. We don't try to make it beautiful. That's usually what you don't get. So I was asked to say something about what to expect when you get into a German company. I have had at least 20 students of mine that have been working here in different companies. I also like to hear that Aware is still working, because I had 1 or 2 students going to Airbus actually when Evaldo was coordinating Aware. So it was very nice, a very nice experience for them at least. And what I would like you to say is, expect a very professional level. So it's more concentrated work. What I have noticed is that you get a really, when you're working, then you're working and everyone is just focused on what they're doing. A very high quality. So no really, if there was a better way to do it and you didn't choose it, you will not pass if it's seen. So you should do it the best way possible. Perhaps it's a little bit, it will take me a half a day longer. Yeah, then it should take you 1 day longer, but you should do it really the best way possible. So the quality of the job is something that is really very important here. Not as much the deadlines, not that we don't keep the deadlines, we do keep the deadlines and we try to keep them as best as possible. But I feel, at least in the companies I've been working here, it's more important to get the job well done, that you don't have to ever think about it again, than get the deadline and then try to fix it later on. So it's usually not a very something I have seen here very much. So if you want to work here, I say you should prepare yourself professionally with a good CV, with someone that can introduce you and evaluate your skills with the skills that the company is looking. And that's, I think, the offer which you are receiving here. So this is something is very good if someone does that. You should prepare to learn a language and a culture. It's a different culture and it's a different language. It's not Brazil. And even if you lived in the south of Brazil, it's even not south of Brazil. It's different. Yeah? And you might not be prepared for it, or you might not like it. And if you want to live here and work here, but you can eventually work online. But working and living here is something that needs some adjustments, and I think it's worth it. And I really can recommend the companies. They are really investing in people they are working, and they are looking, like everyone in the world is looking for computer scientists, mint areas in general. So it's a good opportunity if you chose this kind of work for yourself. It's a good moment, let's say, because they're really, yeah, they are looking for it. I might be open to some questions if I still have time. I don't know.
Thank you, Professor Weingärtner. I will now open the session to questions. But before it, for those who have joined us later, Mr. João Vitor Stedley, Executive Director from VDI, he couldn't join us today. We feel sorry for that, but he couldn't. And I also would like to thank for the support of Mr. Ewald Stina, who is listening to us, and well, thank you very much, sir, for your support. We shall now have the questions. You can open your microphone or even write if you want. So it is time for the open session. Does anyone want to ask something about the subject talked today? I think people are shy.
Maybe before somebody, maybe I want one comment also to Daniel Weingärtner. Very good that you have spoken about these intercultural aspects and also about the German language, because this is what we have discussed also with our clients who are the German companies who are then hiring the students. That means English in Germany, young generation, everybody speaking English. But as Daniel Weingärtner mentioned, if you want to clarify things with colleagues when you are in a pause, for example, then German is mandatory. Therefore, we have the experience when we are dealing with international students with these project integrated study programs. There are the possibility for students with English language, but there is really limited, and we have a lot of cases where it was not possible to link them up to a working place. Therefore, for us, it's very important to prepare with the German language to go directly into the courses. And what is also an important point, some of the study courses are also in German language. Therefore, you have to follow these lessons in German. And this is also a very important point. And of course, if you're learning the language, you are much more in line with and have a feeling about the culture of the Germans, which is really sometimes, okay, it's everywhere different, but the Germans are different, of course.
You should not expect Brazilians working all around here in Germany, as you don't do the other way around. Yeah, so you have to live into this new culture, and that's it. Yes. But I might say, if you think German is too difficult, I had one student that was here for a year, and he managed to get B2 level of German in 1 year. So that was, he really dived into it. Yeah, he dived into the culture. He went to local Vereine. He did everything he could to learn the language. And in 1 year, he was talking to everyone in the company in German. So you don't have to be that fast. Not everyone is that fast. If you can manage in 2 to 3 years to speak everything that you need in German, that is really possible. It's not that difficult if you really want to do it. As long as you don't isolate into an isle of Brazilian speakers or English speakers, as long as you don't isolate, it works. So get some friends that are Germans, and especially that don't speak English with you.
Well, I have a question for Professor Karin Graf. Professor, do you think that the contact with this dual system of education in Germany has generated changes in the way that professionals at University of Paraná are trained? Do you think it has changed? Has generated changes in the way they are skilled, let's say?
It's a very good question, Geraldine. Things in Brazil are very slow to change, especially in federal universities. But nowadays, I am participating we are remodeling our course, our mechanical engineering course. And I am the president of this group that are doing these modifications. It's a big challenge. The group has a very good view of how the universities work abroad. We are bringing some topics into discussion for this new curricula, but it's not so easy because we still have professors inside the university that are from old school. And there we have actually two groups inside, one group with the modern views and the other group with this old views. But I have a very good feeling that we will do a good job. Of course, we are not prepared to work as in Germany. As I said, here, unfortunately, we don't work so close to industry. We start now with this new project. And it was really funny because the industries even want to listen to us because the words are so far away. And after this Englobe project, we start with Renault, and we already have 3 industries that are looking. They are looking for us to work with them: Volvo, Bosch, and CNH. They produce agro machines and so on, and they want to work with us like the model we established in Englobe. I think it's not so fast as we want the change to occur, but I think it's started, and I'm optimistic that we are changing.
Well, thank you. I have a question for Professor Lohmüller. Professor, would you, or Ms. Mazukina too, if you could explain a little bit better about the disciplines we will find in the pre-master.
Yes, maybe I can make the first summary, and then maybe my colleague can add. The point is what we have learned again in these international programs we are running for many years with close relation to industry is especially the preparation in intercultural aspects and intercultural management. That means this is the lessons we will give, and also the credit points will then also accept it in the following master studies, especially. This is more about these intercultural management skills, but what is very important, and also it was mentioned, the German language is not the easiest one, but also therefore we really have this good relation with Digitale, that they really provide the course compact, and that at the end, and this is mandatory, you must have a B1 level, not B2, but B1 is necessary in order to really get then these offers from companies to join in, especially. And that means also then during these half-year preparation, you will get coachings, we will support the students, how to connect, how to behave in the interviews. We are going directly to the German companies to present the profiles, to say, okay, this is the profile, what kind of project, what kind of job you can offer, and then we are really discussing it in detail. That means it's not only enrollment and you have a study place. For us, it's the main challenge how to link the student profile with a real company working place. And therefore we started this program because we have seen it's much more successful when we are going this way. Otherwise, maybe we have 100 applicants, 80% speaking German, everybody what a company place. At the end, maybe there will be several students which get one because they are failing in the company interviews. They do not understand how the projects are running. These, I think, are really important points I wanted to mention. Maybe, Anna, you can add some other points from your experience.
Yeah, I can totally agree with all the words that Professor Lohmüller have already mentioned. I can only admit that through participation in these courses, intercultural management and international management, you can reduce your culture shock before you move to Germany. And also through these theories, through examples, through case studies or group work, you will already get used to the work in the intercultural teams, which you will be having here in Germany, and you will also be at ease when you are working on the joint project and so on. That was my part.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone with a question? People are really shy today. I'm not sure if Professor Giovanna and Professor Paulo would like to say some words before we end the session then. Well, I would like to thank you all for being here today, for your availability of being here today, spending this time with us, this precious time. Thank you for the audience too for being here. I hope you all have enjoyed. It was very, very worthy to us from Digitale, and we are looking forward to seeing you soon. So I wish you a wonderful afternoon and evening for those who are in Germany, and we see you later then.
Thank you very much, and
Thank
have
you
a
very
nice end of the day.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.